Let's take a look at the papers. The Chancellor and the Prime Minister are pictured on the front of the Daily Express with the headline, "Together we will protect Britain." The paper says the two men showed a united front at the Downing Street press conference yesterday.
Metro focusing on test and trace and Boris Johnson's acknowledgement the system should be working better than it is.
The Daily Mirror has a picture of England footballer Marcus Rashford with his mother at a food bank with the headline, "This is what compassion looks like." The paper is responding to MPs who voted against a proposal to extend free school meals into the holidays.
And big news overnight, the final US presidential debate, of course, before the election. That's in just 12 days' time now. The Washington Post dissects all of the action.
Want to talk about friendship?
Go for it.
So, there's some research that's been done that chimpanzees get picky about their pals as they grow older, just like humans, because as people age, they tend to favour smaller circles of meaningful, established friendships rather than seek new ones. And they're likely to lean towards positive relationships where there's a mutual liking rather than ones that bring tension or conflict.
That's nice. How do they know that?
Well, they looked at the chimpanzees' behaviour. They looked at how they groom each other. They went to Kibale National Park in Uganda and they looked at the males, because apparently males in the chimp world have stronger bonds than the females. So they studied them from the age of 15 to 58 over a period of like 20 years, and that humans, like humans, they become more selective about their friends with age.
Imperial College London have been carrying out tests on London's public transport to see if coronavirus is present. The university scientists have been testing tube air as well as swabbing trains and buses. So far the tests have come back negative. TfL acknowledges a clean environment is just one part of keeping safe. Tourist spending in central London is set to plummet by £10.9 billion. City Hall analysis has revealed overseas tourists will spend £7.4 billion less in central London in 2020, while domestic tourists will spend £3.5 billion less as a result of the pandemic. The fall in spending from tourists is far greater than the £1.9 billion lost from commuters. The Big Issue magazine is launching a special appeal asking Londoners to support vendors in the festive season. They saw a 40% drop in sales over the pandemic after the huge fall in people travelling around the capital. The publication says it could face a £100,000 shortfall in the lead up to Christmas.
The Scottish Government will lay out plans later for a tiered system of restrictions to curb the spread of coronavirus. Now, unlike the English system, it will have 5 levels instead of 3 to allow life in some parts of Scotland to remain as close to normal as possible. Another tier will be added at the top, featuring tougher restrictions similar to those imposed at the outset of the pandemic in March.
More than 1,000 businesses in Blackpool have called on Boris Johnson to save the seaside resort from what they describe as catastrophic economic damage. The town moved to the highest COVID alert level a week ago. In an open letter to the Prime Minister, they say hotels and local attractions have seen huge numbers of cancellations for October half-term, traditionally one of their busiest fortnights of the year.
The England footballer Marcus Rashford, who's campaigned for free school meals, has visited a new food bank warehouse named after his mother. It's been set up by the charity FareShare, which says it's distributing double the amount of food than before the pandemic. In response, it's taken on a new depot in Manchester, which has been named Melanie Maynard House. His visit came a day after the government voted against extending free school meals to disadvantaged children in England during the holidays. Marcus Rashford told this programme that he was disappointed by the reaction from some MPs.
People have opinions. Whether or not they understand fully what the families are going through is another conversation. But because of that, it's easy for me to sort of dismiss a lot of the people that are making them opinions, because, you know, I know for sure that a lot of them speak in the way that they're speaking. It's so insensitive about the issue, and they've definitely not been through it themselves. So for me, it's, you know, I'll take that all day long as we start to see improvements going forward for the people that are in need of it now, is what's important to me. So I don't mind the criticism.